From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network, Troy, Alabama's International University, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello, welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for September 28th, 2016. I'm Nathaniel Rodriguez.
And I'm Samantha Charles. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy University students got the opportunity to talk with some potential future employers this morning at the Fall Career Fair. William McCarthy has the details.
Troy University's Career Services held their Fall Career Day inside Sartain Hall, giving students a chance to meet with future employers and talking about anything from internships, graduation, and possible job offers.
But the purpose is really to start to connect our students with employers and start to build those networking relationships. So for lowerclassmen, that probably looks like an internship. For upperclassmen, it's starting to really think about that job once they graduate.
For some students, it's a chance to get their foot into the door, giving employers a face to go along with the name. But for one student, it's all about the experience.
It's been fantastic. The people have been really helpful. Everyone that I've talked to so far has been really friendly. They've answered all my questions, gave me the opportunity to hand out my resume, and really gave me a lot of great information and pointers as far as what I need to do to get involved in the field that I want to.
For anyone who couldn't make it to this career fair, Cole says there are other ways to get involved through career services.
So there's multiple ways. Through our website, they can find our contact information. It's just troy.edu/career services. On our main page, they'll see Trojan Link. That's where we have all of our job postings. They can also upload their resume, and it will come to us to be reviewed, and we'll email you back with tips and changes. But beyond that, they can walk in our office, 104 Eldridge Hall, to have resumes checked, to ask about internships and employers, even to do a mock interview to practice their interview skills.
William McCarthy, Troy TrojanVision News.
If you missed this fall's career fair, there will be another career fair in the spring.
Troy Student Government Association is the primary organizer of homecoming events for the students, and with the big game right around the corner, it might not seem the opportune time to break from regular business. But last night, the SGA took a break to recognize someone important to the organization. Ryan Renfro explains.
It was an executive meeting for the Troy Student Government Association that consisted of football tailgating successes and homecoming preparations. But if you look toward the back of the room, you may notice a familiar face, a Trojan that SGA members say deserves all the recognition.
I don't think it's an understatement to say that the majority of what we do, the majority of the good that we do on campus is a testament to her and her leadership and her advising.
Barbara Patterson was honored by the SGA for her dedication to the students. And if you ask her, the recognition came as a surprise.
I was just completely shocked and overwhelmed. I'm so thankful they honored me tonight with such unbelievably kind words. It's a privilege to work with them. It's a privilege to work at Troy University, and I'm just so very, very grateful.
I'm really glad to get close with her. She always keep in touch with me with the Sound of South Marching Band. She always says, you're doing a great job. And like now being SGA, now I can get more close with her and honor everything she has done for us. So I'm really happy for her.
She's just a constant, if that makes sense. She's constantly there. She's a face you see every time you go into the office. And she's the face that, you know, has been seen in that office for 30 years. So it's just a testament of her and her leadership and her guidance.
And now, with it being just over 2 weeks away, members of the SGA turn their focus toward homecoming week.
I'm really excited about homecoming and get a chance to play with the band and cheer with my Trojans.
I think it's just it's a busy time on campus, but it's an exciting time on campus. I know the SGA is ready for homecoming week, and I hope the student body is, because I think it's going to be a really fun week, so we're excited.
Ryan Renfro, Troy TrojanVision News.
Troy University's homecoming game is set for October 17th. The SGA has a full week's worth of activities planned leading up to the game. Tomorrow night, Troy University's Department of Theater and Dance will premiere a new production in the Trojan Center Theater.
Joshua Lee gives us a behind-the-scenes preview of Flyin' West.
Tuesday night was the final dress rehearsal for the cast of Flyin' West, the newest play to be performed by the student actors of Troy's Department of Theater.
It tells the story of African Americans who left the Jim Crow South of the late 1800s and moved to the Western Territories. These particular family members moved to Kansas and are part of a town called Nicodemus, Kansas. It's an all-Negro town, if you will, and just tells their story and the problems that they have trying to hold on to their land for their wheat farm.
It talks about the desire for freedom and the desire for let's say for identity. For every character has a certain desire that needs to be fulfilled, and that desire is tied in some way to freedom.
Flying West will premiere in the Trojan Center Theater on Thursday at 7 p.m.
And it contains elements of things that are still happening today. Elements like family, love, and race.
But it's African American based because, like, you know, with the times we're going through now, it's good to get like culture out there. And I really like how it just talks about struggle and overcoming struggles, you know, and it has a lot of like family and like unity and love, and I just love that.
For Troy, Trojan Vision News, I'm Joshua Lee.
Flying West debuts tomorrow night in the Trojan Center Theater. It will run through Saturday and showtimes are at 7 p.m. Tickets can be purchased in the Trojan Center box office. The show will also be performed next Tuesday at the Dothan Opera House. Tickets for that show can be reserved by contacting the Dothan Opera House box office.
Now, the latest in Trojan Sports on Troy Trojan Vision News.
Good evening, Trojans. We are back with another night of Trojan Sports, and we're going to get things started tonight with the Trojan football team. Well, they may as well have their own website, www.3wins and 1 loss for this Trojan team. The first 3-1 start since the year 2000. If you haven't already heard what all these Trojans have accomplished so far this season, let's take a look at the first few games of the season and Saturday's defensive performance against New Mexico State. First, it was a victory against the Governors of Austin Peay. Then, after a close loss to the Clemson Tigers, the Trojans have since won 2 straight games. The first being a road game over in Mississippi against the Southern Miss Golden Eagles.
Thompson evades one man, too easy.
And second, a 52-6 home victory against New Mexico State.
It feels good to actually feel like this. We've seen it before the season. Honestly, we didn't see ourselves losing that one game at Clemson, but hey, can't get it back.
And on the defensive side of the ball in Saturday's performance, the Trojans finished with a total of 5 interceptions, and one Trojan who finished with 2 of those INTs says the success on the field is simply a result of good coaching.
Really just following Coach Vic's plan of just staying focused and being in the right spot at the right time, because he's just a mastermind at putting us in the right spot.
But aside from the 5 interceptions, the Trojan defense gave up over 500 yards of offense to the Aggies.
Really, we just did not have a good discipline of our eyes, and we really just got off track of where we were supposed to be. So really just have to harp on just listening to what Coach Vic's telling us and focus this week.
Well, I'm fired up that we made 5 interceptions. I'm fired up we held them to 6 points. I'm not necessarily fired up about how we played overall, because I know for us to beat who we need to beat in this league to get to where we want to get to, we're going to have to play a lot better.
The Trojans will return to action on Saturday all the way up in Idaho. Kickoff against the Vandals is set for 4 p.m. And before the football team can take the field up in Idaho, the Trojan volleyball team will take the court in Atlanta on Friday against Georgia State. And taking a look at this Troy team, the Trojans are coming off 2 losses over the weekend to Texas State and UT Arlington. They're now 6-11 on the season and have not won in 7 games. So how exactly do you fight back from such a tough streak? Head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick says it all starts with practice, and the Trojans that work the hardest when no one is watching will earn their opportunity to play.
The way we train and practice, the way we are as a coaching staff are explaining stuff and coaching stuff, giving them more repetitions to get rid of the bad touches and everything that we did this weekend. And eventually, when the dust settles, the people that earn the opportunity to start on Friday will start, and those that don't start have not earned that opportunity.
And we'll get the chance to see who earns that opportunity on Friday against Georgia State. Game time is set for 5 p.m. And now we come to the Trojan Cross Country team. The Trojans are fresh out of the Trojan Cross Country Invitational, finishing with the victory from the men's team and a second-place finish on the women's side. The Trojans are now preparing for their next meet, the FSU Invite, down in Tallahassee, Florida. And with the Sun Belt Championships now just over a month away, head coach Elliott Blount says the next couple of meets will be good practice for conference play.
This is probably our last tune-up before we get into championship season, and the race on the 15th will be kind of when we let everything kind of hang out and show all our guns, so to speak, and then the 2 weeks after that is conference. So this will be our last real tune-up before we really start to look to start cranking some pretty good times leading into conference and then regional meet.
After the FSU invite, the Trojans will travel about 50 miles to Dothan that way on October 15th to compete in the Doc Anderson Wiregrass Invitational.